Oma Niruma, wherever you are, I know you are present because this magnificent work is going on. May I join in this work with the purity that you had and the naturalness that you had in that whole process. Bless me, O Niruma, as I do vidhi at your feet. And some flowers from there, a flower from there to Ma Amba. It's interesting, a flower picked up from Niruma back to Ma Amba. And as we do the darshan of so many Mahatmas who have gathered here, there are apparently 6 or 7 rows of this. We are only seeing 2 rows here in front of us. Gandhidham is not one of the best facilities for a lot of visitors, but even then they are here. As the Gnani turns, after giving a garland to Ma Padmavati Devi, the protector of all on the path of Moksha, as Dada Bhagwan Sin Jai Jaikar is being sung, glorious exaltation to the Eternal One within all, boundless. And the Gnani is ready. Book sections in the back. People sitting on the floor. They don't have chairs like they have in announcement. Oh, this topic. Also, there's with the topic. The topic now is about the one who desires to continues to be wants to be on the goal of moksha. They're a little behind. This divisiveness due to differences of opinion that is going to be done tomorrow morning. So they were one topic behind. So what began last night is being continued about the seeker who is on the path of moksha. Jai Satchidanand. I bow to the Absolute Lord, the Absolute Self who resides within you, each one of you, with deep sense of devotion and oneness. Jai Satchidanand. Who are the ones who are here for the first time? Please raise your hands, and there are not many, maybe just a handful in this huge. Please feel free to ask. This is worth knowing. This is not a new religion or a new. This is a science. Just as this is a Vignan, like a science, just as you punch numbers on your cell phone, you connect with your friend, and all you do is dial 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you are able to talk to anyone, anywhere in the world now. Wherever a person is, you can talk to him. But who You do not need to find out who discovered the cell phone cellular technology. It doesn't really matter whether that person is a Jain or a Christian, does it? Yes, no. Whatever the phone, the connection, it is beautiful. We don't have to learn about software or computer engineering or technology or anything like that, do you? And yes, even a 3-year-old will say, that it is another Bhagwan or Niruma. And so even a 3-year-old will say, this is Dada Bhagwan Niruma, and jump around and start doing garbas, etc. This is a technology. This is physical science technology, and inside this body is the subtle subatomic particle technology. And for countless lifetimes, the Gnanis and Tirthankars have been giving this discovery the inner technology. This is called Adhyatmik, spiritual technology to human beings. Yes, there is science, definitely. When there is definitely science on it. It is a science of two elements. When you mix two oxygen elements and one element of hydrogen, well, automatically water will happen. Yes. So therefore, it is everything that is happening to and around this body is indeed science and subatomic particles only. But we, in the very heavy, busy, and chaos of daily lifetime interactions with all the worldly relations, one doesn't even have time to understand what is happening. But whereas the Tirthankars and the Gnanis, they have been giving the reality of this world to the entire and the entire science is being shared to everyone. That who is the doer, who is the God, who is Paramatma, who is Absolute Self? Is God the doing this? Is karma being bound? How is one being released? This is magnificent, and they have constant inner awareness of how is this thing. It is happening. The law is that whatever one wants to know, nature will automatically help him. This is the law. If you want to know about spiritual science, then you will get to know the spiritual science. But you see, but otherwise, if somebody wants to know about the intricacies of business and how to really cheat others in business, then he will start cheating others in business or in cheating others in sexuality or cheating others in worldly interactions. But if you have made the decision that you want to really do it right and do it well in his world interactions, as well as to understand the intricacies and the technology of spirituality, the science of spirituality, then that is also possible. And this rag, this attachment or abhorrence, you see, this home is a prison of rag and dvesh. When you're in the home, attachment and abhorrence will happen in that prison. But despite living in the prison, that is the home where rag and dvesh are happening, attachment and abhorrence is happening. The Gnani gives us the exact understanding whereby no matter how much fight and conflict and anger the other person is displaying, one can remain separate from the body and therefore continuously separate. Therefore, you will be aware that what is happening is wrong, and when you know that this is wrong, that is the awareness of separation. And once with that awareness of separation, and the wrong things happening will only stop once the stock finishes. But it is the inner awareness that makes you understand that I am not the one who is part of this wrong that is happening, and that is how you become free. The karmic path is where everyone takes diksha, in other words, through the step-by-step approach. Whereas in the akram path, you do it, become free first from the anger, greed, deceit, and pride by becoming the self, and then you become aware of what is happening. So, yes. Sorry about that. There was somebody at the door. Just trying to answer. So, So this is the spiritual science. And if you understand it short and simple, then you can become free from all pains in this world. Within this very body, within this very family, within this very family of friends, and within the family of colleagues. Let us take some questions. The question from Niruben Patel, and then Yogesh Dalal from Mumbai, and Bhavna Ben Gandhidham. These are the questions that are announced. And let us take the questions. Veena Ben Patel, Rajkot. These are all probably questions from yesterday. Vajubai Vagela Bhavnagar, different. Please, if you stand up, microphone will be given to you. Jai Sachidanand. If our lifespan is less for in the spiritual seeking for moksha, then what should we do? No, every day is a new day, and this between 2 days is a night. In the same way, between two lives there is a death. That's all. You continue in the next. Did you not use? So, did you not use yesterday's clothes only? Yesterday's blade, etc. for shaving? What you the spiritual wealth that you gain in this life, you will be able to use in the next life. Ignorance and knowledge will come with you in the next life, but the physical stuff will be left all here. Wife, people, relations, physical wealth will all be left here, but your knowledge and ignorance will continue in the next life. Yes. The ignorance of last life has come with you in this life through anger, greed, deceit, and pride. And now that you become free from anger, greed, deceit, and pride, you will be even more freer with a more blissful life in the next life, you see. And now that you have received the knowledge of the self, new karma is not being bound, and the old karma will become free, and then you will go to moksha. Manorama Jain in Indore. Question. Jai Sachidanand. What do you want to ask? I have already written. What is it? Niru Ben Patel. I do pratikraman for some mistake that is happening, but the mistake. Since you are not, she says, one fault of mine I keep seeing again and again in pratikraman. What should I do? It will go away. Some people have 5,000 layers, some people have 20 layers. Until those layers go away, since you are not the owner of it, therefore it is all going to wash away. You are not the owner of those mistakes, Jai Sachit. Yes, it will all wash away. Veena Ben Patel and Manorama Jain, Indore. When I do pratikraman, from birth till this current time, I see all the entire lifetime mistakes I can see. But what should I do if I cannot see all the mistakes of my life? No, then forget about the seeing and digging the old mistakes. Why don't you improve the current? When we have major Shibirs, right now you just try to kind of, today you know what all the mistakes that happened today is. No, did you hurt anyone today? Did you see anyone at fault? When you were not able to remain in equanimity, or whether you were attracted to something, you say, whatever you can, with the current today's mistakes, if you finish, then Yeah, then everything is cleared, you see, and then when you have major Shibirs, you can do the entire living. I don't go to journal programs because this is my first time that when I came, and because I'm not, even though I have physical handicaps, I do not miss any programs of Dada anymore because of the bliss that I'm experiencing. What do you think you got there? Yes, the bliss is of the knowledge only, that's all. Everything else comes in by production. Otherwise, I used to become very upset. Now I'm not that my disability does not bother me at all now because of my bliss. Next one, this lady is talking about Nirvikalp Samadhi, the bliss of the state which is beyond any I-ness. I am Nada is Vikalp and I am pure soul is Nirvikalp. Samadhi is absolutely blissful state. Dada has given this to you, then why are you talking about it? Are you really Shuddhatma or are you Kirit? So, I am Nada, I am Uve, I am Kirit is Vikalp, V-I-K-L-P. And Sankalp means this is mine, and I am Nada, and this is mine. Both of them are gone, and therefore you are in Nir. Nir means without, Vikalp, without any I-ness, without any. Therefore you are I-nessily, and therefore you are free. Now, when somebody insults over, and so then you see, then you should not have. You see, so the mind will bother you. You see, the mind. And or the body might bother you, you see. But then you can say that it is the mind or the body that is of Nada or Uve that is disturbed. You should not be disturbed. Mind of Kirit is disturbed, mind of body of Kirit is disturbed. You are the blissful knower of it all. And that is, being the knower, blissful knower is the Nirvikalp Samadhi. You have already received it, attained it. I know I have received. He says, to remain separate from I-ness and minus? No, it has already, you are already separate. Now be aware of the separation only. You don't have to really decrease them or to run away from this I-ness or minus. I-ness and minus belongs to Nada, belongs to Khatya. Let it be there. You see? And be aware of it, and that is the way of Akram Vignan. Now, that is how, and you do that through Agna of the Gnani Purush. Next lady. Yesterday in Hindi she sang, Mahatmas become free from these closely associated people through Pratikraman. But Mahatmas are going to continue to meet because they have only one goal, and that is a goal of liberation. No, and he says, once you attain knowledge, then you just settle your files and be done with it. But until you attain Atmagnan or knowledge of the self, the crowd of Mahatmas in their previous lives were together. They were all together in some way or the other in previous lives, you see. And now, once they attain the knowledge of the self, then all they have to do is to settle their files and then move away in their own moksha only. That is all. You see, in a previous life, a spiritual master would have certain number of disciples, and so all those disciples are moving in one direction. In the same way, so we have all had spiritual masters, but essentially those we were all trying to attain moksha only, and now in this life we have attained the knowledge of separation, and therefore the living moksha, the first stage of moksha, and then it will, and then move forward. But you see, even now, right now, because right now, when you see faults of your spiritual colleagues in Akram Vignan, he says, he is not doing the work of translation properly, she is not doing the work, she is not helping me, etc. This tells you that this you had connection with that person in a previous life as a spiritual colleague under some master, but now you are both together under Dada, and therefore by becoming aware of your fault and discharge, you become free. So I have to do pratikraman of the family members, and I also have to do pratikraman for the associated files of the Mahatmas also. Do I not? Yes, I do. Next, Kusum Modi. So the questions are going on. 3 more questions announced. Raksha Purohit Rajkot. Rathod Naresh Paithangarh. Where are all these people, says Deepakbhai. It's 8 o'clock. 5 or 6 are the question. What is your name? Laksha. What do you want to? Rag Dvesh creates bondage, she is asking, and becoming with Rag, one becomes attains moksha. Vita means without attachment and abhorrence. But now you have to find out why Rag Dvesh happens. Once ignorance leaves, Rag Dvesh leaves. So now ignorance and Rag Dvesh are gone. Now all we have to do is to settle the filled file with the file that has got the filled stock with equanimity. That is all. But through ignorance, ego arose, and that ego created Rag and Dvesh in the last life. And now that ego is now coming home, and as the ego discharging ego dies, the final moksha will happen. This is Satchidanand. Gentlemen, now. What should I do for moksha? Just 5 agnas only, that's all. If you miss 5 agnas, reset the 5 agnas. Agnas will take us to moksha. It will clear all the accounts and lead us to moksha. Yeah. Should I have to come? Do I need to come to Satsang Shibir? Yes. I see, now if you're in business, when you have had a full day of business, 8 to 12 hours, you're lost in heavy business. When you come home again, your mind is lost in business only. So what are you going to do? You're going to, aren't you really kind of clashing your mind with other people? But you run, for earning money, you have so much awareness, then would you not want to have some degree of awareness, increase your awareness for your own moksha? File number 1 will do the business. What is your business? Why capital? Why your business? Your business is moksha. File number 1's business is money or activity. So, these shibirs and all these gatherings are arranged only to increase the awareness only, nothing else. And the familiarity to it, that's all. Should I go? What should I do in satsang center? What kind of purusharth should I have? Just, see the people in the back, how they are sitting quietly. Whatever role is given to you in satsang center, do it. Bless you, Deepakbhai. Yes. Everything. Best activity is that you see VCD for 1 hour, then do Aarti, Asin, Jajikar, Vidhi. 10 to 15 minutes, you should do Samaik on a topic. Just do the Samaik. Did you have any Rag Dvesh with anyone? Did you hurt anyone? Do special pratikraman for any hurt that was caused to the other person. Because the pratikraman, the prakriti is not very helpful for 48 minutes, then at least do for 15 minutes this where you hurt anyone. What should I move forward when I say negativity? This is when just if other people's negativity should not bother you, but you see, important thing is, you should have such a bhavna, the internal intention, sending signals to the pure soul within that person, that other person's negativity, asking the pure soul of that other person to move her or him away from negativity. What should I do to make them come to the satsang center? At the most, give them a book or something, and then invite them for the dinner at the satsangs. When you serve food in satsangs, then people like to come to those major satsangs. When there is no food, people will say, "Oh, then I'll have to worry about my food afterwards." And when they get the atmosphere and the experience, and then also arrange experience sessions with those people, so that the newcomers will have understand the experience sessions and how beautiful it is to have an experience session. Jai Sachidanand. Whenever I try to do something very good, immediately this is followed by a negative thought. What should I do? Then you should just keep be aware that it belongs to file one. It is not yours. Keep it separate. You support the good work. You see, when you say I want to do something good, make sure that then make sure you don't enter into the doership. Make sure that it is this Kusumben wants to do something good, and therefore Kusumben may do something good or may not do something good. Finish your agnas, finish your world interaction through the agnas, world interaction of file 1 as well as file 2. Next one. Siddhani Jalpa Dhuraji, one more. Jai Sachidanand. My name is Manibhai. On the path of moksha, and how do the celestial beings like Padmavati Devi and Mataji help us? They say very much. They say they are celestial beings, and they say this person. People in the ask worldly things. Oh, I don't have a son. My son is not studying well. My son is sick, etc. All of those are all worldly. They do not help you with that if this is worldly. But you see, they don't help you in these worldly matters. They help you. They are the protectors of those who are on the path of moksha. How do they help? They break the worldly obstructions and make them get such limits that their satsang increases. In satsang, when your speech is coming out, at the same time, when I observe your facial expressions are so beautiful, everybody gets the answer by just watching your face. Number 3, yesterday, on the day of Janmajayanti, in the early morning, Manibhai Dadashri, Niruma, and you came in my dreams. All 3 of you came. You were very fortunate. Very good is the answer. In Navta Sutra 874, Samadhi will come when that which is very, 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 very precious to you, when it let it flow, then Samadhi will come, bliss will come. She says, my most precious thing is my pride, and if I let go of my pride, yes, let go of the pride. Do not try to protect your pride. You see, when you have placed the garbage bag outside your home, you try to take anything out of the garbage bag when the person comes to take it away? No, you watch the garbage bag and say, oh, I have left this in the garbage, I have left this in the garbage. Once you close your garbage bag and left it outside your door, it's done. It's out of your mind. That is all. Do you think people find faults with you? If somebody finds faults with you, what do? Should you be happy or should you be upset? Yes. Mrinal, Nada, Katya may be unhappy, but you should not be unhappy. You should be happy that somebody is actually trying to pick up your garbage and throw it away. You see, that person is now here to collect my garbage and take it away. Be very happy. Be very happy about that. And once you become free from garbage within, there will be a sense of freedom. It will be very beautiful. And then there will be no pain of any kind. You will have very beautiful bliss. I have another question. May I ask? I have a lot of insistence on perfection, and therefore I need everything to be perfect. What should I do? You should keep perfection, let mineral be perfect, but you should perfection in Gnan, no, not in everything. Perfection in Gnan is what you should aim for, not in work. Oh, cleaning the home. Yes, whatever I do, I have to. If I don't do anything, if I do, then instead of perfection means I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to burn anyone. You see, now if you insist on perfection in the worldly matters, then your partner will be totally a slob and a total slob, and he will not pick after himself. Everywhere you go, the room will be in shambles. So this will be your counterweight. So if you because of your ego of perfection in worldly matters, you will get somebody who will be imperfect in worldly matters, you see. So if you get irritated when the other person irritates you, adjust your Gnan so that you do not flash back at him. Yes, then in that suffering, tap or inner penance will arise. Burn, let the ego burn inside. Don't you want to burn your ego? Yes, I want to burn the ego. No. So when other people are burning your ego, let it burn the ego. You do not be ready to really It used to happen to me, I would be there at 3:30 for satsang, but there wouldn't be anybody in satsang when I come in time. It used to be like that. But now, slowly, but even now people, and therefore I adjusted my time. People didn't improve, I improved. People didn't become wise, I became wise. We have to really, without insisting, we should just let people move in the direction of moksha with whatever water suits them, whatever food suits them, whatever. Yes, because we believe that our discharge karma is the only correct karma. No, the other person's karma is also discharging. No, therefore you have to really adjust to the discharging karma of the other person too, right? Jai Sachidanand, she says. Initially, she was going to say Jai Jalaram Baba, her saint. Jai Jalaram Pujya Shri, she was going to say, a very famous saint in Gujarat. On the seeker, on the path of liberation. But we are married. I am married, so what is the importance of celibacy for somebody like married in me? And how can I attain the one life state before liberation? Yeah, you should just continue to. You are a Shuddhatma. Are you a wife of somebody? Jalpa is the wife of somebody. So you have to settle. I have a very heavy intent for celibacy. Don't rush it. Go slowly. I has filed to receive Gnan, so then both of you now settle your files with equanimity. So can we both become one more life only before liberation? Yes. If you are very hungry, if you have eaten too much food, would you not have to go to the toilet? In other words, everything that you filled in terms of sexuality in a previous life, what has been filled will empty. Therefore, you see, you should not fight with the filled stock of sexuality within file 1. More important is not to have any kind of kashais with your partner in life with matters of sexuality. You see, the intention will come with you in the next life. But I want to remain like an Aptaputri. Why don't you remain inside like an Aptaputri, like a celibate nun? Why don't you remain as a nun inside and let the body settle down to sexuality with the file 2? That is how. What the file 1 is the body of this woman, body complex. File 2 is her husband. You see. In the physical sense, then do pratikramana self. Don't be too insistent, and don't carry your celibacy, your non-celibacy, non-like celibacy onto the sexual relations with your husband, because that won't work. You have to settle file 1 with equanimity first. You see, this is the way. File 1 before you can start becoming blissful. Next one, Pragna in Simandar city. And then Raksha Kanani and go. Hello, guys. Yes, I'm actually doing live translation of what's going on. So let me call you. Yeah. Okay. All right. So goodbye. Okay. Bye. Huh? Okay. So I have the illusory attachment, and I have this desire to enjoy the worldly pleasures of life. And this is the fine one may be involved in the pleasures of life, but you should be more aware. But if you become one with file 1, and if your opinion is the same as file 1, if file 1 says this is fun, and if you yourself say this is fun too, then you tend to get absorbed with it, but it's important. File 1 say, I love this food, you should say, you should be more aware that file 1 loves the food, what is there in it ultimately? The dinner costs 70 euros, what's there in it? You see? So it is a discharge of file 1 only. You should change your opinions. You see, the two opinions should remain. The opinion says, file 1 says, I should become angry, I should do this. Your opinion should be, I want to settle with equanimity, I don't want to fight. So when there is a separation in the opinion between you, the awakened one, and when you are and the opinion of the one who was filled with ignorance, when there is a difference in the opinions, that is a path of moksha. That is called sanyam parinam. That is the result where there is no rag dvesh, there is no kashais. Even while we are in sansar, in worldly life, we are aware of the one who is enjoying the pleasures of life, but you have not become the enjoyer of life. You, capital, have not become the enjoyer of life. You see, that is a purusharth. You are not becoming the enjoyer of life. So Jagruti, the awareness, is the purusharth. If file 1 liked anything, let file 1 be this. Let's settle that with equanimity. You do not become involved in it. That's all. You see, pizza, or whether it is pizza or dokra or it is chapatis, is one of the things. They're all made of 6 eternal elements, are they not? They're all 5 eternal elements. You see, we do not. There is grain, there is vegetables, there is masala, spices, there is oil and butter, and then there is and this is 6 ingredients. You see, 6 tastes are different. You see the grains, and then there is grains, then the peas, and then there is vegetables, and then there is masalas, and there is oil, and then there is for milk. You see, it is just a mixture of these 5, 6. And people will say, oh, pizzas are so good. Oh, samosas are so good. Oh, this spatlese is so good. What? It's all made up of the same 5 or 6 ingredients, food, isn't it? Every day we eat the same thing, is it not? But it is the intellect that says, I don't want to eat this food today. Guess whether file 1 enjoys the taste of the food or does not enjoy it and finds it bitter or unpleasant. And so you should talk to file 1, say, why don't you put it inside and see the beauty of it all. You see, it is the fight of the mind. It is not the body that is fighting or resisting the food. No. Which lalach means intense greed. This is the intense greed. There is the intense greed of pride, intense greed of sex, intense greed of pride, intense greed of money. All of those things, they really are major blockades on the path of liberation. But if you make this decision that I do not want anything that is destructible and transient in this world, but if the ego says I want it, then you have to settle it with equanimity. That is all. It will not stop, because that is what the ego has brought from the past life. But you say, I do not have this. I'm not going to put my second signature. The first signature was placed by the ego in the last life. Yours is the veto power as of the president, the awakened one, and therefore you don't have to put your second signature in it. I don't want it. Let it just now. Whenever the operation is happening of the greed, then when the Sailesh cannot tolerate the operation that is happening when the greed or the pride is being surgerized upon by the Gnani, or the operation is happening. He says, he says, he says, he says, those supports that we have to let go at that time. Instead of entering into the penance, I enter into depression, or I give up. I don't enter into the knowing the one who is entered into depression because he cannot have his way. That is called the penance. That is tough. That is tough. You should talk to Sailesh, what you have attained, the entire world has not attained. Why? So if somebody else has got something better than you, why are you getting upset? What kind of loss have you attained? No matter, even if he's a king, he's eating his food only. Is it not ultimately only a mixture of these kind of 5 or 6 grains and spices, etc., right? No. But in behind, I'm feeling that other person will go ahead of me, and that is the man or the pride. You see, nobody has gone ahead of you. And when you go forward on the path of moksha, that is called moving forward. But everything else, going forward or going backwards in the worldly path, is useless. It has got no use. Only when you proceed on the path of moksha can it be said that you have gone forward. He says that I get upset or I get jealous of the person who is ahead of me. No. On the path of moksha, there is no comparison. There is nobody going ahead or behind, because now one has entered the realm of the self. But when you see the soul, yes, you are seeing the Prakriti, and that is why you are getting into difficulties. If you see his Atma, his Prakriti is totally different, is it not so? Is her Prakriti. But he says, when I see his body is paining. Is your body paining? His mind is doing something. Is your mind doing the same thing? So don't you see how compare the Prakriti? But why are you comparing the Kashais? Why are you allowing space for the Kashais? Compare. Understand? But the association, the world, the Lok Sanya, what the world does. Yeah, are you stupid that you're listening to the world? The world, you are no longer. Dadashri, be like Dada. Dada says the real wise one is the one who does not imitate anybody. Dadashri says, I have never imitated anybody in my life. That is called the one with the right kind of intellect. Let Sailesh flow naturally. No, and don't you, even if you are in this Shibir, don't you have to eat? Don't you have to go to eat? And don't you have to go to the toilet? This is also filling and emptying. So in other words, even in satsang there is filling and emptying. Is it not Puran Galan? Puran means filling, emptying means Galan. You see, that is what is happening to the Pudgal, the non-self complex. But do you think any businessman has the desire to sustain any loss? But does he sustain a loss? Even though he is having a lot of desires not to have a loss, does he not get a loss? He gets a loss because of his merit or sin karma from previous life only. You see, he gets profits from the merit karma from previous life. He gets losses in a business from the sin karma effect from previous life only. But whatever you gain on the path of moksha, what Mahatmas are gaining, they will become ek avatari. That means they will have only one more life before final liberation. What is of value is the new seeds that you're planting in this current field. Whatever you are suffering, whether it is pleasant or unpleasant, painful or pleasant, it is only the effect from past life. There you can't change that. But you have to change your vision. You change your vision and talk to Sailesh from inside and says, walk the path of moksha only, of Dada only. Make it, yeah. And if he feels hurt a little bit, be there for him. Right now I'm sitting here, but was I not doing my business also too? My people used to tell me, I used to get only 1,000 or 1,200. But ultimately, the other person was getting 20,000. But I was happy that my goal is that I get enough to eat. I have enough to clothes. But he has to accumulate the money and he has to get a higher salary because he has to marry his daughter, etc. I don't have to marry anywhere my daughter or anything like that. I don't have to worry about marrying a daughter. I used to do with 1,500 rupees per month, and I used to. Out of those 1,500, I used to give 1,000 rupees for Dada. You see, if I compared myself to that man who was making much more than me in business, would I not have been stupid? But I used to compare that even though you are earning 20,000, his business colleague, you are only able to spend only 2% of it, whereas I'm able to spend 25% of what I earn. So you understand? Chandrika Chatpar and Jay Sachidan. Ever since I received Gnan, there is an absolute conviction is there that and the living Gnani will destroy all obstructions on the path of Moksha. Yeah. You see, you only talked about only difference, but you did not talk about he did not talk about destroying the effects of the. Then there is superiority. He tries to show. He says that I don't. One of the biggest things that is causing me obstructions on the path of moksha is the sense that I know something. I try to protect it. I do protect the sense that I know something. I am superior. You should just write it down and give it to me every day. Someday write it down and then give it to me. Then I should sometimes just openly admit that I have a lot of sense of self-superiority to others. And your wife knows about it, right? No, you try to appear to be a good man and a smart and wise person externally, but your wife too knows about it. And because she is present, then I try not to show off. You see, a sense of. Well, she knows that he's trying to show off only, that's all, because she says, I know where he's all about. And also, even if I don't express my sense of knowledge, but I get emotional inside, and I get much less, but I tend to suffer inside. Because the sense of what is the sense that I am? What is the underlying reason for the sense that I'm superior and I know more? It is ignorance. Ignorance only, right? And don't you think you know more than? Do you think you know more than Dadashri, more than Niruma? Why don't you should say that? Suggest you should say, Deepakbhai, maybe you are a little superior to Niruma, are you not? No. Then why don't you shut up? Maybe you. But it is so ingrained inside that the sense that I know keeps arising only. Then you have to change your opinion. But then you should say that whatever you say is not like that. But and then he says, if you really think that you are smart and you know, then why don't you just express it and show it open? Then other people will say that your own soul is your thermometer. Even in the light, there is no knowing, no ship in the ego only, but the light of the self is the only one that knows. But I feel like I should just continue to just see the Gnani Purush only. And this is all frozen material from the past life only that has become so this is because there is a sense of pleasure with a sense that I know something, that I have a sense of pleasure with pride. And the sense of pleasure with pride is what really is thawing. And when it thaws, you need to be aware of it. When it thaws, when it melts, you need to be aware of it. Okay, what is it? The sense of the knowledge, the sense, your awareness is that it bothers you, the very fact that it bothers you, the sense that I know something, I'm superior, I know it. If it bothers you, that is your awareness, and if it doesn't bother you, then you're not aware of it. You see? So why don't you show in what way it is wrong? Now, Mahatmas need to go into more subtle awareness. That in small sense of awareness, you are aware of this, but you need to find out some way in which way. And every time it opens, then you should just say that that I am the knower only. And number two, and then the second is that, and then the who has really accumulated the associated things that supports his sense of pride, you see, and you need to break those bricks every time the little mistake arises, you see. When he shows off his superiority, his pride, then you need to catch Daku and say, "What the heck? Why? It is your sense of knowledge. You think you knew. If you knew, why did you stumble? Why did you hurt the other person? Therefore, you see, now stop bickering. Stop trying to show off. You don't have anything. It is a belief. There is the belief that I am superior is associated with a lot of supportive evidences in Daku and in the intellect, and you have the awareness. In the same way, when the cancer surgeon removes a cancerous tumor, and then he just after removing it, he really examines everything very carefully to make sure there is nothing else remaining. Otherwise, the cancer will remain. When Mahatmas talk to Mahatmas, when I'm talking to Mahatmas, I try to behave as if I will not let the other Mahatma see that I know. I try to kind of show off. I try to suppress my sense of knowledge. Whether I suppress knowledge or whether I do not suppress my worldly knowledge, natural means you become like a child. It really you have no opinion whether you know something or whether you don't know something. You see, you're not nervous. That is a natural. There is no comparison. There is no. This is a very, very major fault of mine. Mine. And if this goes away, the sense that I'm superior because I find out who has the sense that I know. I know better. You see that I'm wise, I'm superior. If you say that you know very good Gnan of Dada, then did you clash with anyone? Then you have to talk to him and say, if you had knew, then why was the clash there? Why was the conflict there? Why was the discord there? Why, that means you don't know anything. To know means you never stumble or hurt anyone or you never clash with anyone. That is the grace of Dada. Dada will grace you, was the answer. Next one. Now the next one. Purushottam Patel. Chandrika Benchatwa. I know, please speak. I don't remember my own question. Whenever at home there is satsang talking. My number 4 little boy is supposing a lot. Whenever I have to leave home, he is opposing me. Before he used to say go, but now he says, now you have to make adjustment. My son gets upset with me when I leave town to come to this satsang. Yes. Because he has to then cook for the food and he has to. But now when I am watching satsang on TV, he is also opposing me. You should sit down and say, this is my life, satsang is my life, I will not interfere with you in any way, please, please do not interfere with me in my satsang. You see, and even my daughter also comes to satsang. Therefore, my son feels lonely. Yes, he's feeling lonely. So that is why he feels as if he's losing the company of all of you, and that is why this is happening. Yes, you do some kind of seva that you do. We just kind of try to apply the band-aids wherever you can. If you You see, this worldly life is like old clothes. Those are your only clothes. That you can't buy new ones. You have to make do with the clothes that you have received from past life, and try to patch them up. Try to patch them here and there, and just kind of make do with the clothes that you have. You see, remain Vitarag from inside. And then also send the silent signals to the pure soul of that person. And sometimes I miss satsang, she says. If you don't go to the local satsang, but don't miss the satsang of the living Gnani, you see. This is a very big satsang. Don't miss those satsangs. Hital Patel, next one. Then Kajal Chatwar. Jai Sachidan Siddha. Why can I not understand the reality and the true nature of the path of liberation and the goal of liberation?